pretty good. It would have been nice if we could have got the rest of the overs in today, but I thought the wicket to the lefties with Rangana bowling into the rough is going to be a bit difficult, and if we can keep the pressure up from the other end, especially Dilruwan bowled beautifully in the first innings and also in the second. We need Mender to start contributing as well, and if we get some early wickets, maybe 3 in the first session, that'll set us up nicely.
You have lost this series to South Africa in 20 years ago. That would be a big factor as well.
Yeah, I think ours is to go out there and win at all cost. The South Africans have played very well both in the one-day series and in the first test, and we were a bit poor in goal, so we need to make up for that and hopefully push for a win tomorrow. I think it's slightly different. It's a bit quicker than it used to be, probably because they've relayed the wicket, and there seems to be a lot more rough than I remember at the SSC, and good hard rough as well. So it'll be interesting to see whether we can exploit that to our advantage. I think he looks very, very organised. And he looks a very good prospect in all formats of the game. I've played with him at NCC for quite a while, and he's got a lot of runs in both formats, in the ODI format and the longer version. And it's just a case of him staying true to his to what got him here. That's good, solid run scoring ability, well planned innings, and just enjoy the fact that he's in the national side and looks set for a long career. That's the real key. It's been one game, but he showed a lot of promise in that game. And knowing him, he's a soft-spoken guy, but he's got a lot of character and a lot of toughness in him. So I'm sure that'll shine through the longer he plays, and you'll see him score a lot of really good, consistent, hard-working runs.
You spoke about a lot of young players there are quite a few wicket-keepers at the moment as well. Is that sort of a heavy competition to have?
I think so. I think the decision has to be made as to who's going to be a long-term wicket-keeper, and if all the other batsmen who are scoring runs and competing for places are also wicket-keepers, then they've got to consider them as just batsmen. Because it's great to have all these guys competing for places, but if you just label all of them as wicket keepers, then it's going to be tough for them to earn places just as batsmen. But there are openings for batsmen, and if they happen to be wicket keepers, they should probably start brushing up on their fielding skills as well, and keep an eye on whatever that comes along, either as a wicket keeper or just as a batsman. I think all these guys can do one or the other. Yeah, well, what can we do about the weather? It's been 3 really good days, and then one bad day with the weather. Hopefully tomorrow will be a nice long day when we can get all overs in. Yeah, even in the first innings, I thought that they played a lot for time rather than scoring runs, and that allowed us to keep as much pressure as we can on them. We had a few opportunities that didn't go our way, but I think the moment they went negative yesterday and today as well, it was going to be a case of us just making sure we have enough fielders around the bat, and with that rough, hopefully 1 or 2 will start jumping off the glove, maybe bat pad, and give us some opportunities close in. And we were under no pressure, even in the first innings when we were fielding. I thought they were just trying to take as much time out of the game as they could.
It can backfire, can't it? You can lose a game you're trying to save. But
I'm sorry?
It's very possible to lose a game you're trying to save.
Yeah, it is. The more negative you go, the more defensive shots you play, go into the negative mindset. And sometimes you don't execute your shots as well as you think. And it also tires you down. So we're just happy to have as many fielders as we can around the bat and make sure that they play as defensively as possible tomorrow.
Rangana and Dilruwan bowled quite a few overs this whole series. What kind of role do the seamers possibly have to play tomorrow?
I think It'll be an interesting wicket for the seamers because I still think there's enough variation bounce-wise and pace-wise for a seamer to be effective, especially cross-seam, using the bouncer well, and also using your cutters and your slow balls well. And Suranga Lakmal's shown a lot of skill, especially in goal and here. And he's got the variety to trouble batsmen on any wicket. So a couple of wickets for him would also help, and hopefully he'll get a chance to show us what he can do on this track.
Kumar, තරඟේ ජයග්‍රහණය ගැන සිංහලේ පොඩ්ඩක් අවස්ථාවක් තියෙනවද කොහොමද?
අවස්ථාවක් තියෙනවා අපිට ඕවර් 98ක් අවම ඕවර් 98ක් තියෙනවා ඊට දවසේ දකුණු අප්‍රිකානු විකට් 9ක් ගන්න. ඉතින් අපි බලමු හොඳ උත්සාහයක යෙදিলা අපේ පුළුවන් තරම් හොඳ පන්දු වාරය යවලා පුළුවන් තරම් පන්දු රකින්න පිටවට වටා රඳවාගෙන බලමු අපි මෙතන සනතීර්වෙන් පන්දුවක් දෙකක් ළඟ කැවිලා පොඩ්ඩක් පැනලා පැඩ් අවස්ථාවක් හෝ ස්ලිප් එකකට හෝ එවැනි අවස්ථාවක් ලැබෙයි කියලා අපි බලාපොරොත්තු වෙනවා.
නිරෝෂන් දික්වල ගැන වචනයක් කියනවනේ.
නිරෝෂන් දික්වල තාමත් හොඳට ක්‍රීඩා කරා මේ තරගයේදී. ඔහු මම හිතන්නේ තාමත් හොඳට ක්‍රීඩා කරලා තියෙනවා. ඒ ටීම් තරගවලිත් තරගවලත් ක්‍රීඩා සමාජයේ තරගවලත්. ඉතින් මම හිතන්නේ ඔහුට ඉදිරියට යද්දී තවත් අවස්ථාවල් ලැබෙයි. ඔහුගේ හැකියාවන් සහ දස්කම් දෙන්න. ඒ වගේම මම හිතන්නේ ඔහු තාමත් ඔහුට හොඳ සැලසුමක් තියෙන ක්‍රීඩකයෙක්. ඔහු දන්නා ඔහුගේ ක්‍රීඩා විලාසය මොකක්ද කියලා. ඔහු ඒකෙන් පිට ලේසියෙන් යන්නේ නැහැ. නමුත් අද පෙන්වනවා වගේ ඔහුට මේ සෑහෙන එකම පන්දුවට පහරවල් දෙක තුනක් තියෙන ක්‍රීඩකයෙක්. ඉතින් මම හිතන්නේ හොඳ අනාගතයක් තියෙනවා. තව ඉස්සරහට වෙන දේ බලමු.
Your word on Angela Matthews and his form, he's scored a lot of very, very tough runs and he's piling them on every time.
Yeah, I think I was just telling him as well, he's batting as well as anyone I've ever seen. So, and also like you said, in tough conditions, he just seems to have that knack ever since he came into the side, batting at 7-6 of doing the hard yards. And he's shown a lot of maturity. His leadership has been, I think, exemplary over the last 2 years. He's just grown as a player and as a person, and he's full of confidence. So, everyone forgets when we talk about young players that he's only 27. So he's pretty young as well, and he's he shows maturity in years, far more than his age kind of tells us. And I just hope that he continues to enjoy himself and continues to bat the way he does, because I think he's going to be he is a special player, but I think there's a lot more in him that we can get for Sri Lanka.
He's been sort of scoring these kinds of runs since the Pakistan series earlier this year. And
that's in the longer version of the game, but he's been scoring this kind of runs in the one-day format, T20 format. It's very hard to find players to whom these kinds of efforts come naturally, and Angie has always been like that. Ever since he first broke into the side, he's done that for us in one-day cricket. And he's also improved his technique quite a lot. He's got a really good solid pace. He really knows how to bat with the tail, which is really important. And I just love watching him bat. The guy is exceptional, and I think he's out at this moment batting better than anyone in the side, or batting better than most in the world.
තමිල්ගේ ස්වභාවය ශ්‍රී ලංකා නගපන්දවන්නට පිට වාසිදායක වෙයි.
ඔව් මම හිතන්නේ මම දැන් කිව්වා වගේ වාසිදායක වෙන්න ඕන හිට.
Thank you, gentlemen. Thank you.